What was behind the decision to go with Tim Boyle this week?
Just to give him an opportunity. A different style of quarterback. So really it's just to give him an opportunity to see if we can do something with the offense. All three will be up on game day. Trevor will be the immediate backup. Like we said, we think Zach is incredibly talented. Felt like he'd get an opportunity to sit behind Aaron and just learn if, empathetically or sympathetically, when you look at Zach, he's never really had an opportunity to watch somebody play the position. And he's had, Joe Flacco was fantastic. Mike White did some good things, but to just sit back and just watch from the ground up. And that was his opportunity with Aaron, and 4 plays in, he's back into the starting lineup. So he never really got to really sit back and kind of absorb and just get that redshirt year that you would have loved to have given him. But so you could always play the hindsight's 2020 game, but we felt like we did what was best for the organization, best for the team, and it's been an unfortunate series of events when you look at all the injuries on the O-line and just the things that have transpired since the start of the year.
Yeah, red shirt year becomes pink slip year for Zach Wilson. He's done now. He's done. It's over. It's over. We at least know the answer to that question. There isn't going to be some handing of the baton from Aaron Rodgers to Zach Wilson at some point in the future. He's done. It's over. It was over last year. Something happened last year. After the Jaguars lost that ugly Thursday night game where he was benched for Chris Streveler, Jay Glazer said on Fox the following weekend, they're done with Zach Wilson. He'll be gone after the season. And I believe that was true at the time. And it changed. Forces within the organization resulted in them keeping Zach Wilson. We've talked about it, Chris. I think they were concerned they were going to let him go and he was going to go somewhere else and he was going to become with someone else the guy he was never going to become for them. I think this year they've seen enough to know, you know what, we don't have to worry about him going to Kansas City and learning the ropes behind Patrick Mahomes and then going somewhere else and becoming a superstar. There isn't going to be a Geno Smith second act for Zach Wilson. That's the conclusion they've come to. They may be wrong, but I think they've come to that conclusion.
Yeah, it feels like, the marriage is over. That's for sure. There's gonna. I would be shocked if Zach Wilson's on the roster last year. To your point there, they gave him one last chance. He did a great job in the preseason. He did play well there. I think that gave them confidence and thinking maybe he was turning the corner. He got thrusted into a situation that certainly was hard, right? He's been in a hard situation really his whole career. That's where I do feel for him. It's never been quarterback, conducive to bringing him along, propping him up, making him grow as a player. There's been nothing there that helped him that way. And then, of course, he hasn't helped himself either. He's got talent, yes, but he shows an inability to have natural feel for the game. I think that's the biggest thing. So, yeah, I don't expect that to I like we talked about yesterday. I thought that this change was going to happen. It'd be hard to sell to your locker room, at this point with this many weeks in a row of inept offense to go, we're trying to win the game with this guy at quarterback. The coach has got to look like, hey, we're trying to improve everything. We're going to play the best players. Guys don't play well. We got to play somebody else. You got to help the locker room out that way. And Zach Wilson hasn't helped himself out or the team in that matter. And, I think that's all she wrote in that department.
And look, this just underscores the failure by the Jets to have a plan B other than Zach Wilson after Aaron Rodgers gets injured on the 4th snap of the season. And I understand they're in the middle of a lot of stuff. And the deflation of the balloon immediately after the highest of highs, the debut that night, he runs out with the flag. Everything's special, and 4 plays in, he's done. But we've seen the Vikings pivot to a plan B and incorporate a plan B pretty effectively. I really do think, Chris, choose my words carefully here. I think Aaron Rodgers is a big reason why they blew this, because he was so intent on them leaving a light on for him and making it clear. And this is the downside of having that weekly platform for which he apparently gets paid a lot of money with Pat McAfee. When you're constantly talking about coming back and there's this vibe that you're coming back, that really affects what you can do for this year. They were never going to go get Kirk Cousins, even if they had the draft capital, even if they could have pulled it off. How can you bring Kirk Cousins in and then say to Kirk Cousins, if he gets you to the playoffs, thanks for everything you've done, Aaron Rodgers will take it the rest of the way. You can't do a permanent replacement for Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers keeps talking about coming back. So now, and this is where it gets, look, I'm not saying that this was his motivation, but it's the perfect outcome for Aaron Rodgers. I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back. Oh, wait, there's nothing to come back for. But I could have come back. I was ready to come back. But there was nothing to come back for. Yeah, there was nothing to come back for because they didn't have a viable alternative plan at quarterback. I mean, why didn't they bring back Joe Flacco? He was with the team last year. I just wonder whether it's a very simple, Aaron Rodgers didn't like Joe Flacco. And they've given Aaron Rodgers so much power. When he gave back that $33.8 million, he's the most powerful person in the organization. What if he just said, man, I don't know about Joe Flacco, and then there goes the Joe Flacco talk because they were going to do whatever he wanted to do. I really do think the Aaron Rodgers injury and the way he's handled this idea of coming back, it paralyzed them when it came to doing anything that would have truly upgraded the quarterback position.
I agree with everything you say. I think there's even more ripple effects than what you're saying there. You know, it's they went all in on Rodgers to where, yeah, it affected their personnel on the offensive side of the ball. It affected the way the offense was orchestrated because it was orchestrated into let's just get in formations. You know, Nathaniel Hackett and Rodgers will come up with things together as far as formations. Hackett and Rodgers talk about, hey, in this formation, we like these 5 or 6 plays, and then he'll get to them at the line of scrimmage. And they have personnel that also was for that. And then, therefore, when that guy gets hurt, it gives them 1, 2, 3 less avenues to go, to your point, with Minnesota, wait, we could do this or that or this or that to help out the team. No, they're not. They're built to basically survive on the quick passing game. That's what they're built to, as far as Aaron Rodgers and as the starting quarterback. All right, now Zach Wilson, he's young. He's not going to be as good at that and all of that, not get you into the plays all the time the right way. So that's affected that as well. You know, so that's where it's different. You know, let alone Minnesota does have Kevin O'Connell, and he's special in that department, and they got a very good pass-blocking offensive line to go along with it. And, you know, O'Connell runs the ball stubbornly, probably more than he should because he just wants to set up the play-action pass and do all of those things. And they've, you know, got some guys at receiver that have real talent, not guys that, wait, he'll listen and know what Rodgers wants and he'll be in the right spot. They got guys in Minnesota that go, wait, when he's one-on-one, just throw to him. He's going to be open. We got like 3 of them. And that's where, you know, the Rodgers thing and the ripple effect to your point and what I'm saying there definitely affected the football team, yes.
And meanwhile, Jay Glazer reported on Sunday that Aaron Rodgers is targeting a December 2nd return to practice. Well, that's a Saturday before a game. That's just kind of a weird day to have leaked. It's his birthday, though. It's Rodgers' 40th birthday. And I don't know. I had people texting me like, do they practice on Saturday, the day before a game? And why would Aaron Rodgers be practicing the day before a game?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, but why have him in a walkthrough when he's not playing the next day? It was just, the whole thing was kind of weird. Everything about this has been weird. And another report from Sunday, Chris, they're already plotting a run at Davante Adams in the offseason. So they're going to go even more all in. And you know what this does? And I got no problem with guys trying to protect their turf. This makes any talk of firing Joe Douglas or firing Robert Saleh a non-starter because we're just gonna keep going all in. And hey, Aaron Rodgers doesn't want a new coach. He doesn't want a new GM. He runs the show. He doesn't want a new personality in here as he's trying to finish what he started this year. Everybody's back. Oh, and we're going to get Davante Adams. We're going to push more chips in the middle of the table and hope for a better outcome than this year. And I think that's where it's heading. They're not going to change anything other than more all in, Chris, with Aaron Rodgers. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.